In this video, we're going to cover the HP Laserjet multifunction printer. It's the 4301 model. So it can do printing, copying, and scanning. And it can do that in black and white and in color. So I'm going to orient you on a few things here. Power button, right there at the front. It's lit because it's on. If I want to power it off, I just hold that button down and it's going to power itself off. That's the touch screen. Got a little USB port if you need to scan to a jump drive or print from one. Got your feeder tray on top when you're copying multiples. Be very careful, never put anything through that has staples. Always remove the staples, paper clips, things like that. Open the top here, that's your scanning bed, that's the glass. Don't touch the glass because fingerprints can mess with the image quality. And then that's the mat that makes sure that no light gets into the image as it's scanning and as it's copying if you're doing a copy on the glass. It's really important not to, again, put anything with staples, paper clips in this section. A, it can scratch the glass, and B, it will probably also scratch the mat, and that will damage the equipment. Paper tray, there are two. There's tray number one, which is the bypass tray. This is where you would put, let's say, a heavier stock of paper that you might want to print on. And you feed the paper in here. So this is a 60-pound cover. It's a fairly mid-heavyweight stock. So I don't want to put that in through the normal tray. That will go in through the bypass. So that'll go slot right in there. When you do that, you gotta be certain that your guides are up against the paper, otherwise the paper will shift as it's going through the feeder. So just tuck these little guides in on the side. And then every time you load paper, it's gonna ask you to confirm the type of paper that you loaded. And we just missed that, but it said it was mid to heavyweight, which has already been pre-programmed, and we would just be hitting the OK button, but it just timed out. Right. So that's your bypass tray. Then we've got tray number one, tray number two, which is the one that you would be using for your normal printing. And that's over here. So you just pull that open. It is a little bit flimsy, so just be really gentle with it. Don't yank it out or anything. But this is where your regular paper is gonna go. This is just regular 20-pound copy paper, what we call just bond paper. And just put that in there. Once again, there are guides. You just want to make sure that they're closed on the paper. This equipment, this printer can take A4 paper, which you know is a little bit longer, and legal paper, you see. So really, we don't really do much of that. So that guide should always be there, but just double check. Again, you always want your paper to be snug in the drawer, and then close it. And then the printer is going to tell you. So there it is. So tray 2 has any plain paper of any size, and we're going to just click OK because that is what's in there. So every time you open a drawer or a bypass tray to put new paper in, it is going to ask you to confirm the type of paper. And that actually is important for any copier because the rollers adjust themselves, and other parts of the machine will make self-adjustments depending on the type of media that you're feeding through it. So then we have our toners, and there are 4 toner cartridges, and to access them, if you needed to replace one, you will get a notice on the screen if there is a need to replace one of the toners because it's low or empty. And this is the button here. So you push that, it pops this compartment open, which is the same section as the bypass tray. And you're going to open this. You're going to just very gently pull it down. And then you just slide this out. And there's your 4 toners. You just pull them out, whichever one you need, and then put it back. There's 4 colors, black, and then your 3 color process, which is cyan, the blue, magenta, just like a reddish pink, and then yellow. Right, so they can all be changed individually. And once you're done swapping them out, slide that back in and close the door. Before I close the door, I just want to point out that the instructions to do that are inside the door, as well as the instructions to clear a jam. So if there is a jam, you will be notified here. So let's close this up. Right, so in the back here is a section, and you can see that there's a little icon on that little graphic, and that's paper jam, right? So if you were looking for a paper jam, this is a place that you could look. So you're going to want to open this up. In here are the rollers that the paper goes through, and if there's a jam, that's usually where it's going to happen. And you're probably going to see it. It's going to be very visible if there is a paper jam. And you just very gently, as gently as you can, you just pull it out. Hopefully it comes out in one piece. Sometimes it's got bits and pieces. One really good rule of thumb is once you've taken out whatever you see there, look at the paper, put it down on a surface and see, is it a complete piece of paper? Is it a complete sheet? And if it's missing a corner or it's torn and you can see that it is not complete, it means that there is still a bit of paper inside the copier, and you don't want to run the copier while that's happening. So if you don't see it, really just stop and just contact a manager or someone that can troubleshoot this a little bit more. There might be some other things that we can do. And once you've cleared the jammed paper, you just close this back up again, and the printer should start back up automatically. All right, I think that about covers it.